Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bob Warden and welcome to this inbox review. We're going to be taking a look at an F-14 Tomcat, the B version, and it's also the Jolly Rogers. It is by Academy and it is in 1/72nd scale. This is a relatively new tool-ish. 2009 it was new tooled. As you can see, I do believe we've got two markings in here of the Jolly Rogers. It does say cartograph decals, so we know we've got some good quality decals in there. Let's just open it up and take a look at what we've got in here. So first off, let's just put this over here. We can just get out sort of like the fuselage section just here. So first bit of surface detail, let's get you in and let's have a look. Right. First off, we can sort of see actually there's quite a lot of surface detail. Right, we're talking recess rivets, recess panel lines. Right, just looking at sort of like those 90-degree angles, it looks like we're still staying consistent throughout. Right, and it does look rather crisp. Actually pretty nice, damn good detail, as you can see just there, looking pretty good. Oh, we've got a little bit of wheel well detail as well. Hopefully, as you can see there, a bit of kind of like rib work, even a little bit of maybe hoses and wires going on there. A little bit of nice detail in there. We have the bottom part, and we also have two sort of little ejector seats inside there. Right, again, nice bit of detail for you know, 1/72nd scale. You know, cool bit of detail going on with that. Oops, I just dropped that on the floor. Moving along, let's flip this over. Yes, lovely detail on the underside also. Right, looking actually really sort of consistent, very sort of crisp, really nice, well detailed surface detail. Hopefully it's nice and consistent throughout the kit. Even those 90-degree angles where it sometimes sort of fades, right, still nice and crisp. We have our air intakes just here. Again, lovely surface detail, as you can see, but there is a sort of a mold line just going straight across there. This is one of those where it's not too molds coming together. It's sort of like, you know, I think you've got maybe 3 or 4 molds coming together, and that's where you get these sort of mold lines along there. So yes, maybe a little bit of taking care of that, bit of a sanding, you can sort of feel that step, right, but still not too shabby, excuse me. Ejector pin mark inside there, don't know if that's going to be visible or not, but there is one or two going on inside there. Moving along, we have, what do we have here? We've got some canopy bits in here, as well as all our exhaust. So our exhaust sprue, we have two identical sprues there. Right, so I won't get them both out, but yes, we have our exhausts, hopefully as you can see just there, as well as looks like to be them in different sort of open or closed positions, which is quite good. Actually very well detailed on there. And we have our air intakes, again looking well detailed. Nice kind of bit of a rib work going on inside that exhaust there as well, rather cool. Our wheels, they are not quite one piece. It does look like we have hubcaps maybe wherever they are to put on the one side, but looking quite well detailed. The rest of our seats going on here, which I'm kind of wondering if that's kind of like two types of seats, maybe different versions going on. Pull cords as well, that's looking well detailed to go on our ejector seat, so nice little bits there. Let's have a little look at our canopy here. Let's see, hopefully it's all nice and clear. All right, so just looking at the camera side of things, that is looking really nice and clear actually. I'm just going to put it up to the light to really sort of test it, and I'm not seeing any imperfections. Really nice, crystal clear, no scratches, no scuffs from being in rubbing in the box or anything, or nasty cobweb effects. Nice, clear, good looking canopy. Moving along, we have our sort of wing sections just here. All right, so a bit of our tail section. Surface detail is still looking nice and consistent. Flip that over, looking good on that side. Instrument display panels, I mean, very sort of light detail, right? But there is detail there. You've got all the kind of the dials and stuff. Just looks very light, like doesn't look very raised as you kind of normally would see, but that might not be such a bad thing. Yes, the cockpit tub looks like you're going to put all these little pieces together to build it up. And we've got loads of these with all sorts, as you can see, loads of dials and detail on there, looking very good, definitely for a 1/72 scale. We do have some more exhaust areas just here with all sorts of lovely detail going on in around them. Oh, we've got some more instrument display panel detail as well. Right, so we've got both the front and the back, and probably different versions by the looks of it. Right, so actually quite impressive on the detail there. Let's flip this over. We have our wings. Let's just check the surface detail. Yes, looking just nice and crisp like the rest of the kit. Right, doesn't look like we're going to be able to have things like our flaps and ailerons and stuff like that in different poses, so you'll have to do a bit of scratch building to change your poses there if you really sort of wanted to. Looks like some wheel well doors going on just here, so let's flip this over. Yes, we have some ejector pin marks in places you probably wouldn't want them to be, but they're in a nice sort of flat area with no detail around it, so they're normally kind of a little bit easier to take care of when it's like that, right? Not when it's sort of like in the middle of loads of detail. Again, we've got some more on these doors as well. So a couple of ejector pin marks to take care of on wheel well doors, but that's not looking too bad. There is Academy in there, weird sense of let's give you different colour plastic going on, but we have got the rest of, strangely, our clear parts in this bag. They kind of packaged it separately, so let's have a look. And what do we have? Looking at this, pretty good looking sort of crystal clear canopy. We do have that join line running down the middle, so that needs to be scraped off and repolished. Putting up to the light, absolutely lovely crystal clear canopy, no problems with that, which is good to know. Moving along, we have in this kind of white plastic, for some reason I am seeing our wheel well. Nice detail going on the bottom. We're seeing lots there, but the walls have none at all, but you know, it should look all right. Looks like we have air intakes here which have ejector pin marks inside them. There's about 4 altogether, so you know, if you really wanted to take care of that kind of stuff, you'd have to sand them out. We have some landing gear just here, a little bit of flash. Probably see there's a bit there, but you know, it's not too bad. I mean, it could be a bit better, but there is a little bit of flash to play around with on these bits of landing gear. Not too bad, but they do look well detailed. Have they got ejector pin marks on the landing gear as well? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I can see like one just there, but that's probably on a bit of a join line. Actually, the ejector pin marks, if there is any, they're well hidden. So yeah, not too bad going along with that. Then we have some of our front fuselage section, a bit of the nose cone area. Again, surface detail looking lovely and crisp like the rest of the model. Right, and a bit of our underside of the fuselage. Again, same lovely surface detail. Quickly flip this over. Not seeing any detail on the inside for the cockpit area, but I think it does kind of build up itself, where here's the tub for the cockpit. As you can see, not really any detail, but we've seen all those panels that you kind of just stick on there and build it up and build the detail up that way. I few little bits and bobs here and there to glue on. We do have like a bit of a, I forget what sensor that is, but it's one of them. There you go. Yeah, looking pretty good. Then we have, let's see, the last sprue is a duplicate sprue, and this is of our weapons. So what weapons do we get with this kit? Well, we do get, it looks like we have 2 Phoenix missiles, so that means we get 4 altogether. Looks like we've got some sparrows and sidewinders as well. The detail on them do look rather nice. Any nasty ejector pin marks? Yeah, there's kind of like just one just there. 2 on these sidewinders, and there's 2 on the sparrows as well. Little bit of a shame, but they're quite tiny. They're not probably like that visible. So we do seem to have a nice amount to really sort of get all our sort of air-to-air missiles going on with this. Although this is the B version where you kind of have some free-fall bombs, and we have what looks like to be 1 laser-guided bomb. Well, 2 if you include both sprues. So not much on the ground firepower, so we say, but you know, it's still got a lot. You can sort of still beef it fully out. So let's move along with decals and all that stuff. So we have our usual bits of guides and check part lists for on all this, and you know, a bit of rubbish that goes in there. The decals or decals, depending on what continent you're from, designed by Cross Delta and printed by Cartograph. So as I say, these are going to be good decals. It does look like we have sort of like cockpit detail, instrument display panels and all that kind of stuff. I'd probably use mainly the green ones, maybe just for the screens, but it's totally up to you on that. Looking at them, you know, it's kind of like a nice sort of gloss. They feel nice and thin, just like Cartograph normally are. Should have no problems. Micro Solon set should do that rather nice. But as you can see, colours all nicely in registry. Lovely markings, lovely skull and crossbones going on there. The writing is, you know, all nice and readable by the looks of it. Does look like they are mixing all the weapons in with all the other markings and stuff, so but you know, you should get there in the end if the instructions are any good, which we're going to have a quick look at now. Right, we've got 2 sets of instructions going on here, so let's try and work manual 2. Okay, we'll see what's going on with that. We've got paint call outs to start off with. Maybe bring you in a little bit closer. Humbrol, we've got Tester, Revell, Vallejo, AK Interactive. Right, we've got, you know, Mr. Colour as well. So, you know, they're calling out a lot of the different colours from the different manufacturers. It's a fold out instructions, love them or hate it. Starting off with the actual cockpit side of things. Yeah, I mean, it does seem to give you nice good colour call outs for the cockpit area. Does seem to show you where the decals go as well by the looks of it, so not looking too shabby just there. Maybe a little bit small, but I mean, it does seem to show you where everything goes. Doesn't look too complicated to follow. Your typical sort of make a cockpit tub area and then bring the two halves of the nose cone section together. Looks quite standard for an F-14 so far. I mean, you know, test fit your nose cone. That's normally kind of like a bit of a, you know, just to get it to look like it's a good fit. Maybe just a nice bit of test fit in there. I mean, I haven't built this, so I don't know how exactly well it goes together, but air intakes is always a good one to sort of make sure you test fit to kind of get a nice good fit. Moving along, you know, again, looks like everything's sort of coming together nicely, and it's explaining it quite nicely. The wing section does seem to have this sort of mechanism so you can, you know, fold it open or close the wings, which is always a good one. Bringing the nose section to the rest of the rear of the fuselage section, again, that's going to be a test fitting moment. Normally a bit of a problem area with any manufacturer with these kind of aircrafts and generally their shape. So again, test fit and check there. Straight in with exhaust on, and the tail section there seems quite easy to follow. Landing gear, again, looking good, simple to follow. As I say, I mean, your flaps and your ailerons and stuff, I mean, you're gonna have to scratch build them if you want to change the shape of them, so it's kind of like a single pose, right? But apart from that, looks quite easy to follow. Now, why is it we're going straight into a manual 2? I'm not quite sure. And where do we start exactly? Where do you want us to start? I think it's here. So manual 2, I suppose, seems to go over weapons and how they go together, where the decals and the colour call outs by the looks of it, and where they're all gonna go. Canopy looks like it can be a nice open and closed, and then we're straight into our markings, which would have been nice if it was in colour, but it does look like it's showing you where the decals, stencils and markings are going, right, and what colours are what. Again, colour would have been nice, it being in colour, but as you can see, there's one set of markings, and then we have the next set of markings on the opposite side as well, and some more just there. So that's our 2 sets of markings. We have a little bit more of the construction there. So yeah, manual 2 is kind of like finishing off pylons and weapons and showing you markings. So other than that, actually, how much was this kit? So it's £34.99 RRP for, I know it's 1/72 scale, this is a 1/72 scale jet. So not a bad price, quite a new-ish tool. Surface detail looks really good, well detailed. Cockpit looks like it's going to be well detailed as well. Couple of ejector pin marks, as you've seen in a couple of places, but they are quite light and quite small. Some of them could be taken care of. 2 nice markings. What can I say? I mean, it does look like a good thumbs up and a well recommended kit here at Genesis Models. So as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, and this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.